So the self-audit of Pike County High School that I looked at was the first prong test of substantial proportionality. Um, I looked at the number of female athletes out for sports um, in relationship to the number of female student body that we have at Pike County. So the key question that needs to be answered is the athletic participation rate of women substantially proportional to the enrollment percentage of women. And when I looked at the numbers, there were 5 computations that needed to be looked at for this prong. The percentage of female enrollment at the school, unduplicated female participation rate at the school, the duplicate female participation rate, and then we need to look at the unduplicated participation variance and then the duplicated participation variance. So for the first computation, for the female enrollment percentage, I looked at the number of girls enrolled divided by the number of total students enrolled at school. At Pike County, we currently have 511 female students, and we have 1,101 students that are enrolled. So when you divide those two out, you get 46.4% of our student population is female. The second computation was unduplicated female participation rate. So I looked at the number of girls participating in one or more sports, and that was 192. We have a 465 total student athletes that participate in at least one sport. So when you divide 192 by 465, you get 41.2% of our student athletes are female. The third computation was duplicate female participation rate. The total number of duplicate participation for females was 306, and for both boys and girls in all sports was 702, which led to a percentage of 43.6. When we looked at the variance of these two groups, the unduplicated participation variance, the 1 minus the 2, was 5.2%. And when we looked at the duplicate participation variance, the 1 minus the 3 was 2.8%. So it was quite a bit lower. Looking at the data and interpretation of it, Pike County High School is pretty much within the hinted at 5% accepted variance that the courts have looked at and said that is fine. It's slightly higher when you look at the unduplicated female participation, but when you compare it to the overall, it's well within the range that's accepted. So I believe that it would, on that basis, it would pass this prong of the 3-prong test. Some of the difficulties that I had in finding this data, really, to be honest with you, the first part was fairly simple. I just used our program, SysK12 program. I was able to generate the numbers that I needed for male and female students at the high school just within a matter of, I put minutes, but it literally took me 30 seconds to pull the numbers up once I pulled over the correct columns. So that was no problem whatsoever. It did take me a little bit longer to find out the proportion of total girl athletes, but again, I just used the SysK12 program that we have, and I was able to do that fairly quickly and put it into a spreadsheet, and then I could tally how many there was. The duplicate number of athletes was a little bit more difficult. I couldn't do it myself. I had to ask our athletic administrative assistant. Mrs. Powell pulled those numbers for me, and she said it didn't take very long. Our athletic director actually had to submit this self-audit this year on our girls program, so they had the numbers available. It wasn't very difficult. Mr. Dorman, our athletic director, also emailed me the number of sports that are offered at Platte County. In male sports, we have 10, and female, we have 11. And that gives us a total number of teams. For male, we have 24, and female, we have 23. He didn't really clarify why there was a difference on that, but that was the numbers that he gave me. Looking at this data and looking at the way that Title IX is laid out with the three-prong test, I would say that our high school is definitely in that range, that 5% or so variance. So I would say we were in compliance. We've also added several female sports within the last 10 years. We've added girls tennis and girls golf. The first one that came about in 2000 that I could remember adding was soccer. We added girls soccer. With that in mind, I really feel like we're doing a very good job at Platte County of promoting girls sports. We've been doing a much better job of having multiple sport athletes rather than having the specialization. We had a period of about 5 to 8 years there in the early 2000s where we had a lot of specialization going on. And it would be interesting to pull those numbers and see what the ratio of the unduplicated versus duplicate athletes would be. But at this time, it looks like we fall well within the range of the first prong test.